Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball, and with me is Will Power. Sorry, man, I almost screwed up your name, but I got it right. So yeah, I mean, there's just a second week of baseball, and there's been a lot of things happening, and it's actually exciting, man. Some of the things that's been going on around the league. It's the big news, the COVID-19, the Marlins, man. It's pretty crazy what's going on with them, right?
Yeah, I can't believe it, man. Like, what is going on with 2020 this year?
It's pretty crazy, dude. Like, I mean, there was like 14 cases, not including players, and now it's up to, you said 19. It's just
19 cases. I think it said 17 players and two. I think it was one coach and one clubhouse guy.
oh my
I don't
god,
remember. I don't remember exactly who it was, but yeah, 17 players total. That's more than
that's
half the
crazy.
team.
That's more than
That's
half
more
the
than
team,
half.
and that's crazy. That's crazy because everybody's criticizing MLB not for not having the bubble. Like NHL is having it, and basketball has it. They have their bubble, and I think UFC has their own little island, and they're doing everything out there. So MLB is getting criticized a lot because of this thing, and it sucks. But they're still playing baseball. I wonder if they're gonna even put a hold, or stop if another team gets positive
Um,
results out of this crap.
so I read the other day. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. That they are willing to postpone games, but they don't want to cancel the season completely. The only way that they'll cancel the season completely is if there is one team that is just completely out, that they just don't have enough players to even keep the season going. Which, if it's going to be anybody, it's probably going to be the Marlins. I
Yeah,
mean, hopefully they have kind of a hold onto it now, But the problem now is they were playing the Phillies, you know and then all of a sudden, a couple Phillies players and coaches start. Um, Toronto
another.
was supposed to play against the Phillies this weekend, so Toronto's not going to have any games this weekend. They're getting their games postponed. Actually, I don't even know if it's a postponed. It might even just be canceled. I mean,
Yeah,
can't
because
really
they
ask.
don't play until Monday or Tuesday, from what everybody's sending out on Twitter. Exactly, everybody's saying that it's Tuesday, and maybe longer. We don't know the effects yet because I mean, yeah, they got tested, but doesn't mean that they don't have the virus yet. Like you don't see the results like until 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah, a lot of people
Hope
don't even know you have the virus because you have no symptoms. You know,
Yeah, and
not
it's
everyone.
crazy. It's crazy.
So,
It's just crazy all around to talk about it because it's just if the Phillies, if one of the Philly players has it, that means the whole team might be already
yeah.
already has the virus.
Everyone
And
uses the same bathroom. Everyone uses, they all go in the locker room together,
yeah,
and it, they touch each other's bats, touch each other's gloves, the
butts.
same ball. So I mean,
Yeah,
how can there's no way getting around it? If one person's going to get it in the clubhouse, and by the time you already test them and they have it, it's already too late. It's already been spread. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. And
but
well, what you just said that they're just gonna postpone games and they're just gonna keep playing. From that, if you only play 40, 40 to 50 games a season, I think it's going to go off of percentage, winning percentage, right?
I
And
mean, it has
that's what
to.
they were talking about. Yeah, they were talking about if teams don't meet the 60 games, and they were thinking about making it to where it's a winning percentage. So it's not about wins and losses, it's about winning percentage. So it's gonna take effect on teams that are gonna play all 60 games, and it's gonna suck for them. But then they were also looking at making double headers, making it to where there's 7 inning games.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 7 inning game in the morning and then 7 inning game in the afternoon. So that type of thing is being on conversations right now because of the virus, and it's exciting, but it's kind of like sad because you're putting your players at risk because of all this. David Price came out saying that there's a lot of balls for the commissioner to say go out and play. I'm just we're still gonna go and have these players do what they need to do. And yeah, David Price was one of the players that came out and put on Twitter, and he said, you know what, let's see what he does now. Let's see what the commissioner does about this.
Well, David Price, when I read on his Twitter, what he wrote was that in the beginning, Manfred said that the players are his first priority. But the way that he is going about things, it's just making it obvious that the players are not his priority. Which, I mean, he's made it obvious in the past too. He cares more about the owners than he does about the players. It's all
Yeah,
about the green, you know.
it's all about the green, man.
Yeah,
Well,
that's where the world goes, and I get it. You know, it's sports. Sports is a business. It's not just for entertainment. It's a business. It's how a lot of guys get rich and stay rich. You know.
yeah.
So
Unfortunately, that's how it is. And then we're over here being fans and waiting for the game to start, though. So you know,
no,
we're evil too. But that's good though, because I enjoyed baseball, and you know, we already, you know, I'm already enjoyed a bunch of games, and we're only in a week in. We already seen a triple play out there, you know, by the Cubs on the Reds, and that was pretty amazing. The announcer didn't even know that happened.
the short season,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah,
what's gonna happen tomorrow? Someone's gonna hit for the cycle. Gonna have a
exactly,
4 home game. Hey,
exactly. Like damn.
you know, these players are trying to play so hard right now because of you know it's a sprint. It's not a marathon anymore. So stuff like that is highly likely. I mean, we'll see. You
Yeah,
you got you got some pitchers out there that are throwing extra hard and going extra innings, and you got some hitters out there that are starting to show some promise. You know, we haven't seen anything from Corey Seager for the last 2 seasons after his Tommy John surgery, but then all of a sudden he's on fire. He's like the best hitter in baseball right now. I'm
yeah.
not complaining at all. You know.
Yeah, and then and then there's, you know, there's the home run ball. Who's gonna have a home run ball in 2020? And then one of the videos that popped up, like for the Giants, he hit it out a Cubby Cove, right? And
Yeah.
and they jumped to grab the ball. So for those people that are criticizing that guy that jumped into the ocean and got that ball, like that might be the only 2020 home run ball that a fan's gonna ever get. So imagine how much money that ball is gonna be worth. Like
Seriously, even though it was hit from Mike Yastrzemski from the Giants, I
I
mean,
can't even say
I'm,
the name.
yeah, it tongue twister. I bet they had a problem with it when his grandpa was a player too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, it honestly, if I lived in San Francisco and there were games going on, I'd be out there with my boat too. You
Yeah.
know, I would love to
Yeah.
have a ball. Maybe
Yeah.
I might have some latex gloves on just to make sure like I don't, touch anything and sanitize it real quick when I get home. But hey, man, that's going on my mantle in my little glass case. You know.
I don't want that virus to travel home. Better
I
stay
know.
there. Yeah, man.
Just put,
Well,
just put
that's
a grocery bag. You'll be good.
yeah, that'll be good, right? Well, that's good that we at least have a little fun with the virus. I mean, it's not something that we should be making fun of, but we're actually like keeping cautious about what's going on, like, you know, with the social distancing and everything. I think when they won the game, even when he touched home plate, they didn't even touch each other. They just, you know, did air high fives, you know, and that's
Yeah, that's kind of
different.
the protocol
That's
right
different.
now.
Yeah, that's really different. That's different from what we're used to when they come home plate. He just hit a home run like to win the game, and you know they what they do is they throw water at him and they, you know, try to rip his shirt and stuff like that, and they didn't happen now. So the players are more cautious, which is a good thing. You know, they want to protect themselves, and of course we want them to protect themselves because we want to finish the 60 game season. We want to get into the playoffs. You know, all the teams being healthy, of course, and then go into the World Series healthy because it's just, you know, I I would hate to go into playoffs and have one of your best players come down with the virus, and then, you know, your whole season is just like, oh man, we played 60 games for this. Are you serious? So yeah, hopefully all the players are cautious and, you know, they protect themselves as well as, you know, you at home listening to our podcast, right? So let's move on, man. Let's talk about something else. Let's what do you got on Instagram? You have
Uh,
anything on Instagram you want to talk about?
about Joe Kelly getting suspended for 8 games.
Oh my
What's up
God!
with
Can you
that,
believe
man?
8 games? Like 8 games is too much, man.
8 games, and he wasn't even given a warning. He didn't even get thrown out of the game. How
Dude,
do you get an 8 game suspension and you don't even get thrown out of the game? That makes no sense, dude. No sense at all.
you know he's gonna serve more games than any player from the Astros for cheating in 2017.
Exactly. How are
Man,
you gonna? 8 games to a guy for supposedly throwing at Bregman, and it was a breaking pitch. Sometimes Joe Kelly's known for being wild.
Yeah,
So
it is.
it was supposed to be a curveball. Threw it a little bit too much inside, and it sailed right over Bregman's head. Bregman ducked, and it just missed him. But even so, let's say he was trying to hit him, right?
Yeah,
Okay, then
I think so, man.
game and possibly a 1 game suspension, maybe 2. But how are you going to give him 8 games because it's so-called retaliation for 2017? Come on.
Yeah, hey, but it wasn't a curveball, man. It was a fastball over his head. Yeah.
He threw 2, right?
Well, yeah, he threw one that was inside, and then the other one was a fastball over his head. So yeah, that one was at, I think it was clocked at 97, 98.
Jeez.
It was pretty fast. Yeah, it was pretty fast. And then the one for Correa, like that one was a curveball. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
you
that
a trash can.
right.
You knew it was coming.
After 2, Correa looked at
Yeah.
him like up and down, like, man, you got to kick back. Hey, but
Yeah.
what? I mean, these guys got to expect that, like just like the I believe it was the Royals that were throwing at a couple of the Astros players.
Three of them.
How do you not expect the Dodgers pitchers to throw at you during the first game that you guys see each other since the 2017 World Series?
Yeah, it's gonna be hectic. The Dodgers aren't the only ones that are gonna throw at the Astros. I mean, you could feel the tension watching the game. I think every baseball fan was expecting this series to have a fight.
Yeah.
It was an altercation.
When they were
happened.
the dugouts, I was like, all right, here we go.
Exactly. I was excited. I'm like, yeah, like that's the guy I wanted them to hit. Actually, like I have nothing against any player. It's just Correa was talking a lot of stuff. He didn't back himself up correctly. He was talking crap about Bellinger. Bellinger, of course, is hurt. He played into that in that 2017 World Series, and he was saying that about Judge. Remember when he said that Judge got his MVP stolen by Altuve?
Yeah.
And Correa came out and said, you should know the facts. I mean, well, yeah, the facts are there. You cheated, man. So, like, you guys knew that what pitch was coming, and it's a lot easier to hit the ball when you know what's coming.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just plain real.
There's been multiple pitchers. Alex Wood, I know, was quoted, and he said that he would rather face a batter that's on steroids
Exactly.
rather than a batter that knows what pitch is coming. Steroids can only do so much. It can give you that extra power, but knowing what pitch is coming, you get your timing perfect. You don't necessarily know what spot it's going to be in. Maybe you do if you're that good of a sign stealer, but if you know if it's going to be 95 compared to 82, you can either wait on it or get ready to swing right away. And it makes it really obvious that's how the Astros won the World Series. But if you look now, Cody Bellinger was right. Altuve is 0 for 21 in his last 21 at bats. 0 for 21.
That's not looking good for him, man.
Yeah, like how are you going to come out and say Altuve was the only one on the team that didn't cheat? He didn't cheat at all, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes 0 for 21 against the Dodgers in this series. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, and then come on, you're gonna say that he didn't do anything, but what about you? Like what Correa? That's the thing about Correa. He talked about game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5, game 6, and 7. It would have not gone up to game 7 if the Dodgers would have took care of business. So that's what Correa says. Now, if you would have not cheated, it would have not got all the way to game 7.
Right.
Yeah, you won game 2 at Dodger Stadium. I give you that. Game 3, the Astros won. And remember, there was a back and forward game. Game 5, it went up to 13 run. I guess it was 13-12, or I might have the score incorrect, but it was a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Kershaw allowed like 5-6 runs in 3-4 innings. Like I remember that, but he dominated at Dodger Stadium. So how could this man go to another stadium and not dominate? And you go there and they already know what pitch is coming. Like, come on.